Hello friends, a decision is being made right now in Westminster that will decide for millions of people exactly how many more years they need to work before they can retire. Nobody has announced a final number yet, but the review already underway and the numbers leaking out of it tell you almost everything you need to prepare for. Today, I am walking through exactly what this review is, who it affects by age group, what the current legal timetable actually says, and the specific date you need to watch before making any retirement decision. Before we get into it, subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell. This is one of those topics where finding out 6 months late can cost you an entire year of planning. Subscribe now and let's get into it. The starting point is the law as it stands today, not the speculation. Right now, state pension age is 66 for everyone, regardless of gender. Under the Pensions Act 2014, this is due to rise to 67 between 2026 and 2028, and that increase is already locked into legislation. It is happening. It is not part of any review. Beyond that, the legislated timetable takes state pension age to 68, sometime between 2044 and 2046. That second rise is the one currently under review, and it's the one generating all the headlines. Two reports feed into this. In July 2025, the government launched a review to examine whether the existing timetable to 68 remains appropriate, drawing on updated life expectancy and economic data. Alongside it, an independent reviewer was appointed to recommend a framework for future state pension age arrangements, with findings expected to shape a formal decision. Numbers matter more than headlines here, so look at the dates. The government is expected to publish its recommendations from this review in 2027. That single year is the reason this topic has the urgency it does. Whatever comes out of that report will set the direction for everyone currently in their 40s and 50s. Media reporting has already gone further than the official position. Reports suggest Treasury officials have told the Office for Budget Responsibility that current policy is to bring the rise to 68 forward by at least 7 years to 2037. That single change would move an entire retirement plan for a very specific group of people. Who exactly gets caught in that 7-year jump? Anyone currently aged between 49 and 55 would be affected if that acceleration goes ahead. None of this is confirmed policy yet. It is, at minimum, the direction Treasury forecasters are working with. Age brackets tell the real story better than any single date does. Born in your late 50s or early 60s, your state pension age is most likely already fixed at 66 or 67, and the 2026 to 2028 increase applies directly if you were born after the 5th of April 1960. Late 40s or early 50s puts you in the group with the most uncertainty. Under current rules, you're due to receive your pension at 67 or 68, but the outcome of the ongoing review could bring that 68 date forward, meaning a longer wait than you're currently planning for. Everyone younger faces the least certainty of all. If you're in your 30s or younger, state pension age is set at 68 under current legislation, but further rises remain possible, and workplace and private pensions are likely to carry more of the weight for this group by the time they retire. Money is the real driver behind every version of this debate. State pension is not a minor budget line. It is the single largest item of government spending, running above £100 billion a year, and that scale is exactly why every review keeps landing on the same lever. Raising the age by even a single year saves a genuinely enormous sum. The Office for Budget Responsibility estimated that lifting the pension age from 66 to 67 alone would save around £10 billion a year by 2029 to 30. Multiply that pressure across an aging population and a shrinking ratio of workers to pensioners, and you can see exactly why acceleration keeps resurfacing. Life expectancy is the other half of the justification, and it cuts less cleanly than it sounds. People today typically draw their state pension for 20 to 25 years or more, compared to a far shorter span when the system was designed. Critics, including groups like Age UK and the Institute for Fiscal Studies, argue this ignores the very real difference between someone in a desk job and someone doing decades of manual labor. 10 years notice is the promise you should hold the government to. A commitment was made early in this process that matters more than any individual headline. The government committed to giving individuals at least 10 years notice before any change to their state pension age takes effect. Keep that number in mind whenever a new acceleration story appears in the press. That promise is the real test of any 2027 announcement. If a change to 2037 were confirmed on schedule, the 10-year notice period would only just be met for someone reaching that new age in that year. For anyone slightly younger, the notice period would already be running short. Formal review cycles are baked into law for exactly this reason. Under the Pensions Act 2014, the government must carry out a formal review of state pension age at least once every 6 years. So this is not a one-off. It's a recurring event, and 2027 is simply the next scheduled milestone in a pattern that will keep repeating. 3 actions protect you regardless of what the 2027 report says. Check your own state pension forecast today rather than waiting for an announcement. The government's official forecast tool at gov.uk shows your current legal state pension age based on today's rules, and it updates automatically if the legislation changes. Assume nothing about your normal minimum pension age either. Any decision on state pension age could also affect the age you're allowed to access a private or workplace pension, which has typically been set 10 years below state pension age. If you're planning around a specific year to draw a private pension, that number could move too. Build a plan that isn't entirely dependent on a single fixed date. Whatever the 2027 review recommends, private savings, workplace pensions, and a realistic buffer of 1 to 2 extra working years give you room to absorb a change without it derailing everything else. So here is the complete picture heading into 2027. 67 is already locked in law for everyone, arriving between 2026 and 2028, and no review changes that part. 68 is the number under genuine review, with a decision expected in 2027 and reports pointing toward that rise being brought forward from 2044 to 46 to as early as 2037. Anyone between 49 and 55 sits at the center of that possible change, while those already over 60 are largely settled and those under 40 face the most open-ended picture of all. £10 billion a year is the saving attached to just 1 year of delay, which explains exactly why this keeps returning to the table no matter which government is in office. And a 10-year notice commitment is the safeguard you're entitled to expect, regardless of what the final recommendation turns out to be. Share this with anyone in their late 40s or 50s who hasn't checked their forecast recently. One conversation now could save a very real planning mistake later. I'll see you in the next one.